Have either of you guys ever seen a UFO?
Who's asking?
Me. I'm asked.
No, I think when I was younger and wasn't as educated about the things that are moving in space, I would think that it was an unidentified flying object, but I also thought I saw Santa Claus on Christmas Day when I was like 6. So
we'll get into it a little bit later when we get into spoilers.
Okay.
But there was a part in the film where like I physically felt my stomach drop.
welcome to Seeing This, the movie podcast where we bring you the latest movie reviews, celebrate our favorite movie anniversaries, and compete in competitive movie drafts, and much, much more. I'm the movie Mamba, Mike Ornelas, and if you want me to listen, you better say something. On the podcast with me today is the Feisty Pisces, Erica McClellan.
Again with the lack of urgency in white people.
And back, the optimistic critic himself, Chad Liffman.
You can handle the truth.
And that's all in reference to Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day.
Spielberg's.
Yeah,
the
maybe
Spielbergs.
redo that one.
The Spielberg is back. He's changed his name after this movie, and we'll get into my thoughts shortly. Before we get into that, programming reminders. This past Friday, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of The Birdcage. We had Adrian, myself, and our absolutely fabulous special guest host, David Sotomayor, talked about all the wonderful moments in The Birdcage. Erica, sorry we missed you. Anything you want to share about The Birdcage now that we have you?
I'm really upset that none of you talked about the infamous shrimp scene that was like totally improvised and the fall wasn't supposed to happen. That's like one of my favorite parts of the whole movie.
We completely finished the call and didn't do the IMDb trivia. So gotta circle back. So yeah, that was last Friday. And then this coming Friday, I have an interview with writer-director Eddie Sanchez, who has a documentary at Tribeca called Mexican American, which is a compilation of home videos. And it tells the story of his parents. Much of it is a love story between them. It looks at different perspectives of how his dad sees his kids, sees his wife, and how his wife, kids, husband. And it's about immigration as well, without being on the nose. So definitely check out that interview on Friday. And then next Monday, a week from today, we will be talking Toy Story 5. Can they make another Toy Story? Holy hell. And before we get to Disclosure Day, quickly, what have we seen this week? Erica, ladies first. What have you seen this week? Anything interesting?
I like to watch The Floor. It's like the competition show. So like you basically like have a category and then they give you things within that category and you go head to head of like naming what each item, person, movie, whatever the category is. So the finale was this last week. So we watched it and it was amazing. My mom like really wants me to try out for the show because she thinks I'll make it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Chad, what have you seen this week?
I don't know where I got the itch, but I just really wanted to rewatch all the Bond films. So I've seen them all before. So but I haven't seen many of them for a long time. So I just started right at the beginning, watched Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and then Goldfinger. Those are the first three. And that's as far as I've gotten so far. I'm taking my time, but it's fun. I mean, they're fun to revisit.
Do
of the three,
have a favorite Bond?
Yeah, there you go.
I do have a favorite Bond, and if you read my 100 favorite films of all time, you know what that favorite
I'm
Bond
not
is.
caught up yet.
Yeah. So, well, it's kind of embarrassing because.
Well, why don't you plug that as well? Because I mean, listeners may not be following you. So
So I have retired as being a film critic, a writing film critic as of my birthday, which was last Thursday.
Pour one out.
Yeah. And every single year I rank my 100 favorite films of all time. I use it as kind of a time capsule because I don't consider them the best films of all time. These are what are personally...
It's controversial. I'm so sorry. I'm speaking to the mic.
It's not controversial when I am saying front and center that it is wholly subjective. But this is the first year.
It's controversial.
But this is the first year that I've actually posted it to Spinning Platters as like my final like
Farewell.
farewell. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, there's 2 Daniel Craig Bonds on it.
Okay. Which
Wow.
ones? I told you I'm
Casino
not all the
Royale
way
and
through yet.
Skyfall.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Fun fact: I haven't seen any of the Daniel Craig ones, so I,
That's
Really?
a hot
yeah.
take.
Well, I'm not. It's not a take. I'm not saying they're bad. I
By
just haven't. I
by
haven't
choice
gotten there
by
yet.
choice or
I think I loved Pierce so much that once he
Mhm.
was done, I kind of like just took a break. Like
Yeah.
I stopped. But I, like you, started the Bond train from the beginning,
Yeah.
maybe a couple months ago now, and was watching them until they dropped off of Netflix. Yeah,
Yeah.
people seem to love his movies, so
Yeah.
I look forward to catching them. And I mean, listen, they made Chad's top 100 list movies of all time. That could be any
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And if you could guess how many of those films were international, you'd probably guess a high number. But we don't have to get into that. I won't throw you under the bus like that. Don't worry.
You just
Check out his
did.
list. Though.
You can't.
I didn't say how
you
many.
mean I won't go over you again now that I have thrown you under the bus.
Well, now that we're recording,
Yeah.
but
I
hopefully it'll entice you folks to go check out his list, see for yourself. Do you agree? I mean, listen, I'm sure there's plenty of people that love American films like you. As for
So mean. So
Not
mean.
at
I
all.
literally
Listen.
say in there, I'm embarrassed by how few international
Listen.
films. There's usually more. There's 2
But
this year, which is bad.
you've got some great films
Yeah.
there. Just
Yeah.
talking smack. It's hot here. I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy the film we're talking about today, so I'm just coming out shooting. Okay.
Nice segue. Yeah.
But before we segue, let me tell you really quick what I watched this week. So I mentioned last week that I caught Mothra versus Godzilla. A lot of fun. 60s movie. Good time. Silly. Whatever. So then Shin Godzilla I saw was available, and I said, you know what? I've heard good things about this Godzilla of the Shin. And as I watched it, I was disappointed. Erica, you're a big fan. I know, right?
Wow. You
I
know what? Okay, to be fair though, like Shin Godzilla versus Godzilla
minus one.
minus
-1.
one.
Uh-huh.
Godzilla minus one takes the cake, but it really goes back into like the core of what Godzilla is. And it's just like this horrible creature as all of this other really fucking dramatic shit is happening in the lives of these people. So it's like
Sure.
it really got back to the basics in Godzilla minus one. So I can see how you might not have enjoyed Shin Godzilla if
I
you had seen that movie.
appreciated the dynamic of, like, you see Godzilla evolve, right? From like one aspect of Godzilla and so on, and different kind of powers he had. Like, that was cool. That felt like pretty
Yeah.
creative storytelling. But like 75%, that movie actually can correlate to Disclosure Day in that there's a whole lot of talking and what should we do and let's prepare and what do we do and that, so that by the time you get to the climax, there's like maybe like 8% action in a Godzilla movie with Shin Godzilla. So it just felt like there was a lot of talking and less like action. Let's get to Disclosure Day.
Have you seen this?
Have you seen this?
Have you seen this?
I know, I've seen this. I know this.
So Adrian's out today, so we do need someone to do the letterbox. I didn't prep you guys on this, but if you
I'll do it.
you have it, awesome. So
Well, I can get to it really quickly.
okay, well
Yeah.
I'll stall shortly. Steven
mean,
Spielberg.
I did such a great job of it last time. I'd be happy
I
to.
deserve
It's
a
right here,
shot.
but all right, you know what? You should do it. You should do it.
She jumped the
I
gun
deserve
first
a
and was like, I
chance.
could do it.
I deserve a chance to be better than Larry, okay?
Shots fired. Sorry, Larry. We love you. We love you.
Okay.
That's
We
great.
ready?
All right. So so Disclosure Day. What does the letterbox description say?
We deserve to know. A cybersecurity expert becomes a whistleblower to reveal secrets about aliens, putting him on the run from a corporation, while a meteorologist experiences strange phenomena and joins forces with him to prove there's life beyond our knowledge.
There it is.
I am
Disclosure
that
Day.
bitch.
So Steven Spielberg is back with his latest sci-fi rendition, and some are saying is a bit of a trilogy with Close Encounters, E.T., and now Disclosure Day. I don't feel that way, but we can get
It
into that.
could have been.
It could have been, sure,
We
but
could
yeah,
we'll put that in the spoilers, but I'm just gonna say it could have been.
awesome cast. You had Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, Colin Firth, Coleman Domingo, Eve Hewson, and Wyatt Russell. Some stock either going up or down. We'll get into that, but some of us own some stock in that from that cast. But before we get into the details, high level, Erica, kick us off. What did you think of Disclosure Day?
I liked it, but I wasn't impressed. Like, I enjoyed it. I was into the movie. I was watching the details. There were some parts where it was a little bit slow for me. Again, white people, pick it up
Pick it up.
because now it doesn't seem realistic that you guys should be surviving these situations. Okay? Okay. Yeah, I just like I was underwhelmed a little bit. I guess I just wanted maybe a little bit more pulled from here or there to kind of give it a little bit more completeness. Because it felt like it stalled a little bit. But I still liked it. Is it one of his best? No. Is it his worst? No.
But you're
But we
thinking
can
about
get
it.
into that.
Okay. Wow. All right. The optimistic critic himself. We'll have to come up with a new nickname, I guess, if you're no longer a critic.
I
So
can
we'll
still
work-
be. I still criticize.
The
We could just
American
be the critic.
Yeah,
the critic,
the optimist.
the optimist. All right. Well, Disclosure Day. What did you think?
Funnily, like the same as Erica, except don't put question marks at the end of the sentences. Like I actually like.
There's
I liked it.
statements.
Yeah, I liked it.
Period.
I think that I went into it expecting something else, and I think the more I'm letting it sit with me, the more I kind of like it. And the more I'm thinking about it, it's a movie that whether you like it or not, it's fun to talk about, which is fantastic.
Mhm.
And I think that upon second, third, like I'm excited to watch it again because I think I'll like it more now that I know how it unfolds. And it is very flawed. It has a lot of things that I wish were done better, but overall, I liked it.
Have either of you guys ever seen a UFO?
No.
Who's asking?
Me. I'm asking.
I see. I mean, I think when I was younger and wasn't as educated about the things that are moving in space, I would think that it was an unidentified flying object, but I also thought I saw Santa Claus on Christmas Day when I was like 6. So I could be convinced one way or the other. You've
Yeah.
seen something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And
Care to
I'll just well, we'll get into it a little bit later when we get into spoilers,
okay.
but there was a part in the film where like I physically felt my stomach drop.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I think
Similar.
I think that's kind of like why I enjoyed it though, because like I love this side of things. Like I love the unknown, the known, versus like that in between. Like you got kind of all three of it. I just wanted a little bit more, I think.
No, that's fair. Now I'm excited to see how talking about this is fun, as Chad's said it, because as I was watching the film, I had the opposite feeling, and I didn't have the urge to necessarily rewatch it. But I have someone here, my special guest for today, that can maybe explain a bit better how I felt watching this film. You may know him. He's friends with Steven Spielberg. He is Elliot from E.T. So if you haven't seen E.T., spoiler alert.
You haven't seen E.T. and you're listening to our podcast, pause and go watch E.T.
Yeah.
Go watch E.T. and then
stop whatever you're doing in life and go watch
whatever
E.T.
you're doing right now. Stop.
Yeah.
Go watch E.T.
But nonetheless, this is Elliot talking about my thoughts on Disclosure Day.
Look at what they've done to you. I'm so sorry. You must be dead. Because I don't know how to feel.
You're so
I can't
dramatic.
feel anything anymore.
I can't feel anything anymore. You must be dead. My thoughts around it's directed mostly, I guess, at Steven, someone that I've loved and that has raised me as a incredible filmmaker and my sensibilities in film. And I just felt like, yes, underwhelmed the way, Erica, you mentioned it feeling underwhelming. I wanted so much more. What I wanted in the movie, I guess I'll save that for spoilers. It was too little too late is the best way to put it. It's like so much cat and mouse in the first 2 acts that by the time we get to that 3rd act, it was like we already knew, like it's in the letterbox description. Like that's the movie. You know what I mean? Are there some creative ideas happening? Yes. Is Steven Spielberg still a master behind the camera? Yes. But as far as like a movie going experience, I legit felt myself fighting to stay awake. I don't know. It just felt like there was so much anticipation for this film, which might have worked against it. And the characters' chemistry, everyone felt off. Like Wyatt Russell and Emily Blunt, their dynamic and relationship, never bought it for multiple reasons we can get into. Coleman Domingo, underutilized. You know what I mean? It's just fascinating that a master like Spielberg has the time to make a film, and you're making a sci-fi film, like that's going to carry a lot of weight. And the fact he went in this direction was disappointed.
Interesting.
No thoughts, no
No.
podcast banter back and forth.
We hate you.
Yeah. Perhaps you are the one that can't feel anymore.
No,
and it is not Steven Spielberg.
It's the children that are wrong. Yeah.
Notice how he didn't look you in the eye when he said that. He was looking down in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing.
Did I say anything inaccurate?
No.
Okay.
You said things that are your opinion.
Sure. Okay.
And I can see how this movie can be very divisive, not because it's controversial, but because it's so literal. It's very like, oh, this is what we're doing. We're not going to surprise you with anything, really. We're just going to like kind of tell you as we're going what's happening, and you're just kind of along for the ride. And it asks a lot of questions without answering them, which is both interesting and can be frustrating because the whole point, it's just it's in the letterbox description, it's in the trailers, it's like there are aliens like that. You're not supposed to be like, oh my god, they're aliens. No, it's hey, they're aliens. And the whole movie is obviously utilizing some like cat and mouse stuff, like you said, just to get some like good cinematic chases and stuff. But the rest of it is just like, would this be good to expose to the world or not? And what are the different angles there?
Had you seen any trailers, Michael?
I didn't. I
Okay.
was so Adrian got mad at me at the last episode because I mentioned we're doing Disclosure Day and I mentioned outer space. And he's like, oh, it's about aliens. So he apparently was going in completely blind when he was going to watch this. I knew that it was about aliens and a big, like Disclosure Day. It's in the title. Like that's all I really knew, but I didn't see any trailers. No.
Yeah, because I have a bone to pick literally with everybody in Hollywood who keeps making these fucking trailers. Like, you're putting very big moments of the movie in your trailer. And like, you can kind of deduce what's like the relationship between certain things that are happening by the time you see it. So like
Yeah.
cut the shit. Like it's really bad. Like I avoided trailers. Like I avoided trailers like the plague.
Yeah. I don't
And
avoid trailers, but I completely agree with you.
yeah, and I mean this is the first time that Michael and I are, let me make sure I didn't tap my thing, are trying to avoid trailers. Like I didn't used to. I would sit there and watch it on the big screen and be excited for
Yeah.
a new movie. But there have been so many movies where you go in and you're like, where's the surprise? And I think that sometimes that bothers Michael because it does
The-
bother me sometimes.
Yeah.
But I
But that,
think,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's where I feel like it in an interesting way. And someone asked me this the other day, is just the boldest thing that this movie does is not be bold. And that like
Sure.
it's almost saying that surprises are overrated, and we should trust to just tell the like just be truthful about everything, and like we can take it, we can like it's a very hopeful film, it's a very positive thinking film, even though it does not get into the nitty gritty of what might be problematic, which is one thing that I understand why they didn't do it, but also I kind of wish that someone like Steven Spielberg could have tried to dive into that complexity. But I actually the way I feel it, because I'm not in charge of making trailers for films. So the way I see it is I love watching trailers because I think it's its own art form and it can get me excited for something. If a movie still can entertain me and surprise me with, I know I said surprises are overrated, but if a movie is good enough to get me into it where I'm not like thinking about, oh, there's that clip from the trailer must be coming up now. If it can get me out of that headspace, then it's effective still. And I'm like, okay.
Well, that's like your opinion, man. No, but I think the thing with trailers too is even if it's not giving away a spoiler thing, it's like even a small element that isn't necessarily critical to the plot, seeing it for the first time in the theater would be incredible. Like, for example, one thing that comes to mind is like the Batman. And apparently I didn't know this because I avoided the trailers, but you see the Batmobile in the trailer. And when that reveal of the Batmobile is in the Batman, it fucking hits so hard. It's because it's not like any kind of Batmobile you've seen. And it's the way they introduce it. And like those kind of moments are lost or loses its value in a trailer. And I imagine because this movie isn't necessarily bold, it can take every level. It will take every level of enthusiasm and energy that it can get. And if it's showing it in the trailer, like you're just gonna lose some of that. I think we'll talk much more into detail here in spoilers. Before we do that, the Commodus Scale. Erica, up, even, or down? What are we going with Disclosure Day?
I'm gonna go thumbs up. Like I said, I liked the movie. I might have been a little underwhelmed at certain points and maybe it was a little slow, but I still had a really good time. Got to talk about it. We'll talk about my stomach dropping experience. But yeah, I recommend people go see this movie. You'll have fun. I had fun.
Bold statement, folks. You'll have fun, or guaranteed. Chad, up, even, or down? Where are you going?
Up. I agree. You'll have, you know what? Sometimes if it can be a fun time at the movies, that's worth it. Come on, just be the negative Nancy. Yeah, just say it.
Listen, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah. You're looking at the TV. Who's
Switzerland's
winning?
up. Sweden's up 5-1 against Tunisia.
Sheesh.
Folks,
Okay.
the World Cup is happening. You can't deny it. Much more entertaining than Disclosure Day, and that's why I'm gonna give Disclosure Day. I'll give it an even out of respect to Steven. That, like I said, there are some interesting ideas that I don't think are fully rounded or completed or explained, which you don't need everything to be explained, but you can't just have a MacGuffin solve any kind of plot writing issue that you might have. And I think that this movie has that kind of MacGuffin.
It definitely has a crutch that was a little annoying. But
it's like
yeah.
it's like the
But come
what is
on,
it?
stand by your words, man. Don't go all even, Steven.
No, but
Just,
it is even. It's an even movie. Like, people will like it. You guys clearly are examples of that. It's not a bad made movie. It didn't upset me completely. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's an even.
It's almost as if it's a fun movie to think about and talk about. Interesting.
I'm not having a good time at all. This isn't fun. Let's get into
Okay.
spoilers so we can all express ourselves. Spoilers for Disclosure Day.
Spoiler alert.
Before I jump into that, I don't know if you're waiting for the aliens there, Chad, but it is a bit dark on your side.
I was just about to ask.
Do you want to?
Yeah.
But, I mean, listen, if it's part of the bit, I don't want to.
It is not. Give me a
We
second.
just like
This-
mid-episode watch him get
It's
abducted.
just getting darker and darker, and then a beam of light's gonna come on. The spoilers for Disclosure Day. Erica, we've got to know about this stomach drop. Like, kick us off there. What have you seen, and how did that manifest in the movie?
So I used to live in Northern California, like Northern California for the listeners who don't know that about me, but twice in the same summer. So once was with other people, and then the other time other people were there, but I was the only one who saw it. When they are on Disclosure Day, when Emily Blunt's character Margaret, when they're releasing the files essentially, and you're seeing like the different videos of what happened. There's a video of a triangle shaped UFO that comes out pointed up. Not quite like that, right?
Sure,
So it wasn't
yeah,
quite like
a pyramid.
wasn't a pyramid. It was just a flat triangle. And we all saw it. Well, it was 5 of us. We were all at the beach. But we had went to a specific place in Humboldt because the light pollution is like there's none there. And it was during the bioluminescent phytoplankton. So like all of the waves were glowing. It was super cool. And we all look up and there's just a blue light triangle in the sky. And you know, like the old TVs when you would turn them off and it would have that line that would came
Sure.
across. That's what it did. So it was a triangle and then went and was gone. So that was at the like beginning of June. And then when the fair started in August, like we were going in August to the fair over the cow fields because it's kind of on the separate side. The same triangle was there. So when I saw that triangle in Disclosure Day, like immediately I was like, that's literally it. Like that is the triangle that I saw.
Wow.
So like
Wow.
my stomach
Cool.
just like I was like, oh no. Oh, no, no, no,
Confirmation.
no. Like I was actually like panicking a little bit. I was like, I don't like seeing this right now.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of the juice in the film is at that point, right? And that, just to clarify what I was saying, is like the first 2 acts is Josh, who is this like head of cybersecurity for this
Daniel.
agency. What? Daniel.
Josh O'Connor
plays Daniel. So Daniel, he's the head of cybersecurity for this company that essentially is keeping all of the alien documentation, footage, coverage, everything under wraps, right? Because they don't feel the public can be exposed to this, right? We're not ready for it. And the whole 2 hours of this 2.5 hour movie is like them chasing Daniel and trying to get to him and his lady and who has the MacGuffin. And there's multiple copies of this MacGuffin that people had and utilized. I like the idea that it can have this power where like it puts you in someone else's mind and you can see what they see. But I thought they were going to, and maybe they do, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought they were going to then correlate that to like how the aliens use it. It's implied, maybe, right? Because it's an alien artifact. That's what we're led to believe.
Wait, I'm confused on what you're asking though. Sorry.
Okay.
What? You don't think they use it?
The aliens?
Yeah.
I'm in what the movie shows us,
Mhm.
how do the aliens utilize this? Is there an example of them utilizing it? Is there an implication of how they utilize it?
There
I
is
would
Because really
not.
they're just hidden,
Ex-
right?
Yeah, there is not, except that you could, I guess, correlate some of the technology or powers, for lack of a better term,
I
used
have
in that object to the way that they have been able
Conceal
to,
themselves.
yeah,
Yes.
Well,
avoid
okay, so
detection.
Yes.
my theory or how I understood it was like we see Colin Firth. What's his name? What's his character's name?
Noah
Noah. We see
Scanlon, I
Noah
think.
use it to dive in to people and their surroundings. You see the invisibility. You see
Mm-hmm.
her use it for like the power to restart the power. So from what I was understanding is that we can both use these tools, but it doesn't like it's not taxing to aliens. Like it's just
Mm,
part of
Mm-hmm.
them and how they use it. But like you see Colin Firth's character like really struggling with it. And
Yeah.
even Emily Blunt at one time, like it disintegrates in her
Right.
hand. So how I took it was like that's how they use it, but it's not detrimental to their form, to like
Yeah.
their
I
being.
that's fair.
yeah.
I think the way Chad said it as well is like them being able to stay hidden with the invisibility aspect, or like, their ships or their
Yeah.
whatever the case
Yeah.
is, or even how like Emily like can look into someone's eyes. Well, sorry, what's her name in this? Emily Blunt's character is
Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way Margaret can meet someone, look in her eyes, and just like pretty much know everything in their head, like know what they're going through, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
can speak to them. And even to a point where Noah sees like his wife or his ex-wife, right? His dead wife or something,
His
right?
dead
Dead
wife,
wife,
yeah.
I think.
Right. So
Or it's
like you
implied,
can,
yeah.
it can, so that would imply that like aliens can quote unquote take the form of like a
Right.
human. Like there's these implications, right?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. I'm trying to
Yeah.
tie that all up. I appreciate
Yeah.
that aspect, but like we as an audience aren't given what happens when everyone finds out that there's aliens. Like that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's even, we don't even get to
We're
that
in
part.
spoiler territory now, kind of.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I said that.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
we're in spoilers.
yeah.
We're spoilers.
Yeah. Because that is the part where it's like I couldn't, and I said this, I went with my wife who also really enjoyed it. And I said, part of the reason why I am disappointed in the movie is because the idea of Steven Spielberg trying to tackle the idea of a non-threatening alien race being exposed to the world is really exciting, because there's a lot of questions about faith, about governments, about societies,
Correct.
about
Oh,
all
I
that stuff. And I'm like,
fucking loved that.
and I'm like, oh, I can't wait for him to tackle this. But he just asked the questions and did stop it right before what I thought was the movie was going to be about. And I'm not holding that against it, because in a way it's like I wanted a different movie, but now that I realized that what I actually got was this movie, I'm trying to just like shift my
Yeah.
be like,
I
okay, this
think
is what
too,
it's a different story.
with you saying that, if you took like the first half hour, took it out, and
Yeah.
added that half hour to the end and kind of showed
Yeah.
a little, because I kind of
A
liked
little
how
bit
it was
more.
going
Yeah.
all over the world as people
Yeah.
were hearing what was going on. You mentioned like the religious aspect, the world government aspect. Listen, I'm not normally like not a fan of like the people who are religious who want to debate that, but that that fucking line that she serves, I forget which scripture it is, but where she
Oh,
says,
on
"Oh
Earth,
no,
for
on
Genesis.
earth." She's like,
Yeah.
"Girl, like how could we be so
Yeah.
naive and selfish of ourselves and our ego
Yeah.
that we think we're the only ones here?" And
Yeah.
I'd like to point out too, I do like the whole benevolent thing and having like empathy as like the
Yeah.
core of like what we need to figure
And
out. Um,
sorry, say your thing
but
first. Yeah.
everything that I've ever heard about aliens has only ever been benevolent. Like people are so wrapped up in their mind that, oh, if
Yeah.
aliens were here, they would treat us how we would treat them. And then you have all of these files that come out of you of, the
Yeah.
torture, like all of this
Yeah.
stuff, examination. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
And he basically draws that Spielberg like draws that parallel, and I wish he went further with it, but he's like,
yeah.
you didn't lose your faith in God, you lost your faith in humanity. And
And
like that's
which
the line,
was
and I
just,
was like, that's basically like, it's not that you don't believe in aliens necessarily, or you like that
mm,
aliens exist, it's that you don't think that it would be good for society. And so it's like the exact same thing, because if aliens existed and were revealed to, it actually doesn't impact faith. It shouldn't. It like, it's a whole different thing. It's not, it's like that shouldn't, or it can, but it shouldn't, like that doesn't mean aliens exist and therefore God doesn't. That's not a one-to-one thing. So I love
yeah.
that he like starts getting at that kind of thing where it's like, well, why not reveal this to the world?
Yeah.
The only thing that's stopping us is we feel like humans are too fragile to handle it, which might be true.
Everything you guys are saying is incredibly intelligent, incredibly insightful, and it would be
He's building us up.
it would be wonderful if this movie spent more than 2% of its time exploring those concepts. Like
Yeah.
like everything you've said is legitimately the runtime that we have in the movie about these concepts. So much is
Yeah.
implied and not fully examined.
Yeah.
And that's fine, but it's almost like it doesn't know
I
what
know
it
it.
is.
I think it did take on a little bit too much
It's
because
Yeah.
trying to do a lot as far as
Yep.
the
but
package it's in.
Yeah.
I think the beauty in that is like that's exactly how it would go. You'd have so many different sides fighting for, fighting against, neutral people who are like, hey, like it is what it is. Like you
But we
said,
don't
it's
get
not gonna
that. We
affect
don't
me.
get that. The movie ends before we can see these sides take place
No,
in
I
the
know. So
you
like
know.
that I think that's where Chad and I agree with you is like we really liked all of the concepts that were coming out. I liked how they played on certain things. But like I said, if we have like that first half hour, maybe on the back half,
Yeah.
to kind of delve a little bit deeper, or even like I said, just kind of like the flashes of like structures not crumbling down to the ground or like people unifying and like
Right.
support groups or like something
Yeah. But it's
on
almost
the back half.
but when you think about it, and here's where the part where I'm struggling to like whether I really hold this against the film or not. It's like, can you actually tackle that in a film?
No, I
Like,
don't believe you
no, it's
can.
like it's too complex and broad of subject, and inevitably you'd be like, well, he didn't show enough, or he didn't show this aspect of it, because it's just like
That's where
it's
I
both
that
it's both annoying that he stopped where he did, but it's also
yeah.
like, well, what could he have possibly shown us that would have been enough after that?
Yeah. And that's where I come in and say that I don't think this is his worst movie because I
Oh, I don't
think
think yeah,
that
it's mid tier, but
yeah,
you
it's
know,
just a
but it's
mid-tier
also a Spielberg
series.
film that is like better than a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff that comes out, both
Yeah.
technically and interestingly.
So I
Yeah.
think that like that's where we had fun, but we still wanted more.
Yeah.
But
I
I liked
just
it.
to double click real quick on something I said earlier. A huge cast as far as name
Yeah.
and recognition, but I just felt the chemistry was off with almost everyone. Like Emily Blunt is supposed to be like married to Wyatt Russell, who
I don't
is
think they're married.
dating. Okay, but
Yeah.
maybe living together.
Yeah.
And they had no chemistry. Their age difference is one aspect of it. And I understand, like, I also understand that, like, they're also not meant to be for each other. Like, there's that whole undertone of like what like, I get that. Josh O'Connor, right? Yeah. O'Connell. Yeah. Josh O'Connor, I love him as an actor. I think he's fantastic. I wasn't a big fan of Challengers, but I thought he was the standout in that movie. But in this, he didn't really, not the performances and nothing in this movie really stand out. And a Spielberg film is known for standing out. And I think that's my biggest challenge.
What's the term? In medias res? Like you jump in the middle of things? I forgot what the Latin term is, but this movie really does that. It just jumps in.
Yeah.
Like the thing that Erica, you read on Letterboxd, like half of that takes place before the movie begins. And it's like and so you just jump into it, and it doesn't develop the characters like you would have liked for like all except for two. I think there's two actors that were well utilized, and I don't think any of the other performances were bad. I think Josh O'Connor did fine. Like, he was good, but his character was underdeveloped. I think Emily Blunt gives one of the best performances of her career, and I think Colin Firth was amazing in it. And I think those two are like really well utilized and actually have like a lot to do, and the rest are good but don't have a lot of character to draw upon.
Coleman was definitely underutilized.
Yeah.
We needed
just the same note
way
across.
more from him. Yeah.
Listen, they were fine. I think they were in the wrong movie. Like, if those performances were in a different movie, it'd fit better, but it just, I don't know, it just felt out of, like, sometimes it almost felt like a satire or a commentary versus like a genuine performance. Not necessarily just from them, but like the performances in movies as a whole felt like it was trying to make a commentary. But again, it's not even doing that as a film, because it's just, like you said, presenting things. And I'm curious if, like, we as a society are so far beyond that, where like we've had more and more UFO sightings, and like the Pentagon's going to release files.
I think that was kind of part of the goal of the movie, is that we're overthinking it. Like, we've been like you said, we've been exposed to videos, pictures, movies, all of the above. And so I think like this movie does a really good job of being like, I don't know, understand why you guys are so worked up about this. Like, you've already known, like, it's already been information that you've had.
We're having so much fun talking about this. I can see our timer, and we're running long, and we still got to do our double feature and stock some draft. I'll just close with this as far as our review.
He's a Colin Firth character.
Just hear me out. Part of what the movie's going for is that these aliens are not any threat. They seem to just be,
and they aren't.
And sure, yes, correct. But the movie is trying to garner empathy through like the news clips and like this video footage of like this alien that like is injured, or they're taking on a stretcher. There's rubble, and I couldn't help but be like, where are we seeing these images of people currently in Palestine going through the same kind of pain, death, torture, all the things, right? So I think for me, I have a hard time where it's like, oh, like, can we as humans handle like aliens and present it as like, oh, look, they're like living beings that have souls or are nice or are whatever, empathetic. Whereas like, we can't even do that with fucking people. So I think maybe that's why it's even harder for me to accept or appreciate or enjoy the aim and message of this movie, if that's what it is, to say like, hey, these aliens aren't any threat. We as humans can handle knowing that, you know, they exist. We can't handle knowing that people being tortured and killed and going through a genocide can exist. And not to get so big and heady about it,
but that's what they say.
Where it took
that's
me, you know.
But that's what it's trying to tell. The lesson of the movie is the same as that line: "You lost your faith in humanity." And so it's like trying to do both messages. It's saying, "Hey, why aren't we reacting to stuff like this when we see it from day to day?" And also, why aren't we just more more sympathetic to the truth of what's happening, whether no matter what's revealed to us.
Correct. Well, I wish the movie would have spent more than just a couple minutes on that, and maybe I'd feel better about it.
Wait, Erica, do you think if I have a feeling it's yes, but I want you to voice it. If the aliens exist and there's a company,
I got all of that from the film. Like,
but you would say like, yeah, tell the world that they're here.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I've been saying that for a very long time too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
We can jump in a car and drive away from Mike, who is chasing us, trying to stop us.
I'm so jaded and bitter because you guys are saying that. And I'm like, you know what they should also do is fucking apologize and own that the U.S. committed genocide on the Native Americans and the indigenous people that took over Latin America.
Yeah.
Like, there's just so many things we can do now without it having to be aliens.
Well, we should do all the things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying one, not the other. Just
correct. I was just having so much fun. No, I don't know. It's just so hard to live in this time when there's shit going on that we should talk about and be disclosed now. That's not
hold on
space.
a second.
And I love aliens and I love space and I love all that. So
what if this movie came out on a different time? Are you enjoying it on a different time when you're not trying to like take yourself out of reality?
Like if it came out in the 90s, like if this was
the rockin' 90s where nothing was wrong.
As far as my consciousness of
I meant more of like awareness though, because believe it or not, like social media has exposed a lot of that to people who would have never known about it otherwise.
Yeah.
So
I think as the structure of the film and the pacing of the film feels long. There's a lot, like I said, of cat and mouse, regardless of I'm speaking more to the messaging as far as like, the specific conversation. But I think as a film in a whole, it's very long. The pacing is a miss for me. I wasn't very excited. Even like the quote unquote action chase scenes, they were shot well, but at no point am I like, oh, people are in danger. Oh, like it's over. You know what I mean?
Not enough people died. Okay.
Yeah. If this was a foreign film, would you like it more?
Probably. Let's get to double features for Disclosure Day. Erica, what would you pair with this film?
Yeah, we're gonna go with Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I mean, that's a classic for me. That's one of the movies that has always played in our household for a very long time. Very well done. It's always fun to see
Spielberg.
Richard Dreyfuss go fucking nuts, you know?
Yeah. Get your mashed potatoes ready for that one.
Yeah, highly recommend.
That's it's interesting because that's almost like the inverse as far as like the aliens in this come to us and we research them versus they take us and research us in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So.
Well, there's how do you know they're not researching us in this film?
Sure.
All of the technology they have.
They didn't show it in the film, but yes, that's.
I know, but maybe you just like your imagination.
It's like a lot of assumption,
needs to be a little bit better because like you gotta let your mind expand with this. You kind of gotta like take a lot of questions first. Yeah, see, you already had your preconceived notions coming into this shit.
No, but I like a movie that makes the audience do a lot of assumption and heavy lifting for it to be like well rounded shouldn't necessarily be the burden of the viewer unless there's like a lot of cookie crumbles and like examples that lead to the rounding of a story or a concept or whatever.
I disagree with you about it being I agree with that sentiment, but I disagree that it was this film's problem because I feel like this film was so like again this film was so literal that
right.
Any questions that you have they didn't need to show, I guess. It's just like, oh, there are extracurricular questions that you have about it, but it didn't need to go that far.
And with that said, what would you pair for with Disclosure Day?
I would pair iRobot, and I don't know why. I for some reason I just got this vibe of like, oh, you're like revealing that it like humans are like the robots were gonna stop the humans because the humans were the problem, but now we're gonna there's a matter of like getting the truth out there about this other existing technology, but it's really just human made robots.
Yeah.
But there's like car chases. It felt of a kind that just kind of seemed relevant for me. I didn't want to pair a Spielberg to it just because it just I don't know why. I don't think Disclosure Day actually pairs well with his own work.
Not
These
allowed to
questions.
shit on my pick, dude. Come on.
You're like, it's an easy way out.
I mean, Close Encounters is a masterpiece. But yeah.
So I want to suggest people watch Fire in the Sky. Both of you have seen this film?
Fuck yeah. That's
Yeah.
a dope movie.
Yeah.
I have not, and I know what it is, but I have not.
Dude. So 1993, directed by
Yeah.
Rob Lieberman.
No spoilers.
And it stars D.B. Sweeney. And I'll just say so in 93, I would have been 7 years old, and I saw it around that age for the first time. And holy shit, like those images that you see can scar a kid for a lifetime.
Ooh, now I'm really excited.
When did you see it?
I must have been like 7, so like 93,
Wait, when did it come out?
93.
Okay.
So like when you were born, right? Is that right? Yeah. What are you,
I wasn't on this planet yet.
Jesus Christ. You're probably one of those images I saw that terrified me. But Fire in the Sky, it's a lot darker than, let's say, Close Encounters or E.T. or like the
And
Spielberg
that's
Sci-Fi.
like emotionally and like the actual set's pretty dark.
Yeah,
So make sure there's no light wherever you're watching it.
Emotional, psychologically, like it's just a darker film, and I can't wait for you to watch it, Chad, so you can
I can't
share
wait.
your
It sounds
thoughts.
great.
And I'd like to point out that this was, I'm going to say a dramatization, but it was based on a true story.
Right. Right.
So it was like his recollection of the events that happened.
I might rewatch it again soon.
Bro, it's good. I think I watched it for the first time because, like I said, I was not on this planet when it came out. I think I watched it maybe when I was like just like that frontal lobe like just like connected, so like that frontal cortex.
This movie pushed it over the edge. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! I just remember being like, still kind of like terrified. Like even though you saw it as a kid, I was like my heart was beating on some of those scenes.
It's playing with it's playing with some feelings that like put that pit in your stomach, like it makes you feel like
something's not quite right.
We're drafting stock. And going first is
Erica.
Fuck you.
Oh my god, for once.
It's Erica.
God damn it.
And going next. There you go, Chad. You go second.
Oh, thank heavens.
And then last. I don't like this hat.
Who's already off the board?
So off the board is Coleman Domingo. Anthony has Coleman Domingo. He's, I mean, a hell of a year for Coleman, a couple years for Coleman Domingo. He's been busy. And then you have Wyatt Russell. Adrian he isn't here to celebrate or not celebrate that. I think anyone could have been that role, by the way, that Wyatt Russell plays. It was kind of a throwaway role.
He was fine, but it was a nothing role. Yeah.
And then Erica has Steven Spielberg, who, I guess you could say his stock's gone up, I guess. People are excited. That's fine.
Well, it just made $44 million over the weekend, which was beating some expectations. So
we're back, baby.
So back.
So back.
And
I saw folks, if you're interested in a One Wish Willow from Obsession, which is breaking all kinds of records.
Oh my god, it still made more than its opening weekend this week.
You can name your price, and I may be willing to part with this.
Yeah.
So just so you know, I got one.
It's approaching 300 million worldwide.
Incredible. Yeah. Erica, you are taking who from Disclosure Day?
Yeah, this is kind of it's a little bit difficult because like Chad said, I thought this was Emily Blunt's best performance, but I don't think I've ever been more impressed with Colin Firth in my life.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen him in a very like aggressively like bad person role, and it's not even as if he's like quite bad, like he's very misguided. It's almost like that phrase, some of the worst things happen with the best intentions, and so I think like he
Yeah.
nailed that. So I'm gonna take Colin Firth,
Alright, so
one of my, not my
Like,
favorite, but like the OG Darcy for me.
yeah.
full disclosure, I haven't seen any of his movies.
Wait,
Michael,
you haven't seen
Yeah.
a single Colin Firth
I'm
film?
looking right now. I haven't seen Bridget Jones' Diary. I haven't seen Love Actually. I haven't seen the Mamma Mia movies. I will see The King's Speech as I'm watching all the Best Picture winners. But I
I'm kind of
mean,
mad at you right now.
yeah, I'm sorry.
It's weird.
you've
What a
never
Girl
seen The
Wants.
King's Speech?
What a
Nah,
Girl
that's
Wants is so good.
That's
First of all, that was a
Erica's theme.
classic. It's
Yeah, it's so
great.
good.
Amanda
Yeah.
Bynes can do no wrong.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
Like,
great.
you've never
well,
seen The
listen.
Kingsman?
Mm-mm.
Huh.
Sorry, folks. There you go.
Colin Firth's
That's my
blind spot.
blind spot actor, I
Yeah.
suppose. All right, Chad. You get the you get second pick.
I'm
Erica
like
gets
Yeah.
the
so
Colin Firth.
shocked right now.
Oh,
I'm just gonna
gosh.
look
I
through
actually-
Colin Firth's little catalog here to
Put
help
a
my
list for
heart.
me. What would like based on my
Yeah.
taste? What's the first one I should do? Probably The King's Speech. It's the Best Picture. winner.
Yeah, and then What a Girl Wants.
Yeah. Yeah.
My taste.
Honestly, if you're watching the Colin
My
Firth canon, you kind of have to.
That's
you
the
kinda
double
have to do
feature
that.
for Colin Firth.
Shot
is that
Chaser.
baby.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh God, because you didn't take Emily Blunt, and now I'm just like, she's probably
She's
going to be
there.
nominated for an Oscar for this.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
take, really.
Yeah, remember this moment. I'm calling it right now. She's going to be nominated
Chad,
for an
call
Oscar.
this shot.
If it's a
Call this
weak
shot.
year, she might win. But
I don't know that she'll win, but I think she will
she'll
be
nominated.
nominated.
Yeah.
If can we agree on this? If she gets nominated, Indy deserves to be nominated from Obsession.
Oh
That's
no,
a
I'm
better
including
perf-
Indy in the nominations.
Okay,
She
yeah.
absolutely needs to be recognized.
I wanted to get calibrated. with her.
She might
No,
be
yeah,
too young
yeah,
for
yeah.
them to do it. I don't think they're going to do it.
And it's a
but,
horror. But
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
but
Um,
Obsession's like fucking doing.
Yeah. I mean, Amy
gangbusters,
Madigan
like,
opened the
it's
doors
crazy.
for that, so she might
Right.
be.
Some would say
God,
Anthony
but,
Hopkins.
But I
in Silence of the
freaking
Lambs.
love Josh O'Connor. He's like one of the most interesting working actors right now. And then like, I'm trying to think like what,
Or
I'm gonna take.
You've got Chavo Guerrero Jr. right there. He was apparently the wrestling referee. Shout out.
Oh. Shout-
In the
That's up to
opening
him.
scene.
I mean, I could
Yeah.
take Janusz Kaminski, the cinematographer.
Yeah.
Is John Williams already taken? Because John Williams has a brilliant score.
Well,
but
his stock, how much more are you going to put this guy to work? I mean, Jesus Christ!
don't
Hey,
put
hey
that
now.
out there. Don't
He's
put
a
that
very
out
I
there.
don't mean.
beautiful
I'm just let him
94-year-old.
retire. Let
Yeah.
him retire.
I'm gonna
That's what
take
I
Emily
do.
Blunt, by the way. Yeah, I just
Okay.
yeah. I mean, I was just yeah. She's incredible in this. She's probably the best part of it. And I mean, it's Emily Blunt. She's having a great year, and
Love it.
it's only the beginning
Love
of her. I'm glad she's breaking out of the wife roles. So I hope that now she can move in a new direction.
I'm taking Josh O'Connor. Big fan of his work. Seen maybe a handful of his films, and I think he has a bright future. I mean,
I know I complained about him in this movie.
I agree. He wasn't great in this. He wasn't. I mean, I'll agree
was
with
fine.
myself. He wasn't great
Yeah.
in this.
He wasn't bad. He was just his
But he is
character
a-
was underdeveloped.
He has the chops. Like he
Yeah.
can do it, and the industry seems to love him. So he's gonna have a lot more opportunities as his career progresses. But thank you guys for listening. We ran long here. Erica is currently doing her letterbox because she likes to wait until.
Well, I
how many
didn't want to
Ooh.
give Chad an edge of what I was thinking.
Thank you guys for
I'm
listening. You can find us on
proud, come on.
Seen This Pod across all socials. Go to seenthispod.com for all our episodes, merch, and interviews. Our merch, you have the rest of the month to get discounted merch. I have it in the newsletter. Sign up at our newsletter at seenthispod.com/subscribe. There's a code you would get, but you know what? There's only a couple weeks left. Put in "Seeing this sale," all caps, to get a discount on our merch that will be discontinued at the end of the month because we got a new merch, new logo, new shit popping off for season
Michael,
3.
you're gonna love my caption.
So subscribe so you don't miss
Sorry.
out on anything. I'm doing a promo bit here, Erica. Holy hell. Anyways, Monday, we got Toy Story. Friday, we got Eddie
Why we
Sanchez,
can't have nice things.
writer, director of Mexican Americans. So come back and check that out. And until then, stay safe.